So you're moving to the Denver, and especially the Denver suburbs, and you're not quite sure if it's going to be right for you. Here are some reasons why you wouldn't want to move to the Denver suburbs. Let's talk about it. All right. So as far as the Denver suburbs are concerned, we've compiled 11 reasons why it might not be right for you to move here. Now, these are things that Beth and I see, things that, I don't know, we just don't.
Because we've lived here forever.
Yeah. We've been here for quite a long time. Yeah. So the number one reason that you wouldn't want to move here is the weather. Now, we get 365 days, it seems like. It's more like 300 days of sunshine here. But with that, it gets hot. In the summertime, it can still get 100 plus degrees. And in the wintertime, we have these temperature fluctuations that it'll drop 70 degrees in a matter of 24 hours. Yeah. It's rare, but it happens. So
that's why you look forward to those thunderstorms in the afternoons in the summertime, because it will be 90 degrees. A thunderstorm rolls through, and then you're 75, where it's nice and comfortable again.
That's right. But again, with the thunderstorms, it can be pretty rare. We live in a near desert climate, so be prepared. Yeah. It's not like living in the Midwest. You're going to have to water your grass.
Yeah.
As far as the weather goes, you might be having a picnic on a Saturday afternoon. It's 70 degrees. It's October, and next thing you know, clouds roll in, and you end up with 3 feet of snow, and trees, branches are falling all over your yard, and your neighbor falls and slips and breaks their hip.
Ankle.
Or ankle, yes. I just broke my ankle recently, and so let's not talk about that.
No.
So number 10.
Number 10, it is dry. Be prepared to drink a lot of water and to have some chapstick on hand at all times, because you'll be outside working or just going on a walk or something, and the next thing you know, you are parched and your lips are drier than dry. So yes, we are at a very dry climate here in
Denver Metro.
Yes.
In the suburbs, especially, speaking as a man, we often forget to drink water. Shoot, sometimes we forget to eat lunch. That's why I have her anyway. Yeah. She also has set a convenient little timer on my watch that reminds me to eat at 12 o'clock every day. Yeah. And sends me with plenty of water. But always drink water. For us guys, it is an area where, you might have to wear lotion. Your knuckles are going to crack out here, and the dry air. Yeah. And of course, the altitude doesn't help either with, making sure that you're staying hydrated.
Yeah. Number 9.
Number 9, traffic. The traffic here, it's not terrible depending on where you are. We can certainly help you with that. We know where we're going. We travel and help, and we market thousands of properties, hundreds of properties every single month. And we go to these properties, and we know where to go, where to avoid the traffic. But be prepared. You will need a car. If you're coming from New York, what are other areas that you...
Yeah, New York, Chicago, bigger cities.
Bigger cities where the public transportation system might be great. That's one thing that the Denver metro area, especially in the suburbs, is really lacking.
Yeah. We do have a light rail, but if you're not close to it, it could be a little hard. But since COVID has definitely calmed down a little bit, we've seen an uptick again with people going back to work. It's not what it used to be, I can say, but we are starting to get busy again.
That's right. And, where we live in Jefferson County, we live kind of in the Littleton area, which is one of the largest, really, suburbs around. And with that, we have open enrollment with our schools. And so with open enrollment, be prepared. You will have to drive your children to school. So finding the right area, sorry, my phone. Finding the right area is critical to make sure that, hey, are you going to be able to take your kiddos to school? If not, Colorado suburbs might not be right for you.
Yeah.
So that brings us to
Number 8.
8.
My least favorite thing, driving in the snow. Driving in the snow, as long as you, like I always tell my now 16-year-old and who just freshly got her license, as long as you are driving slowly, you're cautious, you're aware of your surroundings, you'll be fine. Just because you have 4-wheel drive does not mean that you can go the regular speed limit on a snowy, icy morning.
Yes, you have to make sure you have the correct tires. If you're going to go on a quick little trip up into the mountains, you will get pulled over if you don't have good enough tires for the roads. And you'll get a ticket and you'll have to park your car. So be prepared. I love driving in the snow. It's one of my favorite things. I feel like I'm four-wheeling on pavement, and the girls love it. I like to go to abandoned parking lots and show the girls how to do cookies, like I did back in high school. It makes me feel young again. Driving in the snow, something that you have to get used to. We don't have a lot of ice storms like you might have in the Midwest.
Right.
So you do have a lot more traction, I feel, here. And
but once in a while, we do get like a random rainstorm, and then it freezes and then snows over it. So we have been getting those, I feel like, the last 5 years. I don't know.
That's right. Department of Transportation, they are on it. If it's snowing, they are on it. They're plowing. It can be a little slick. Number 7 is diverse population.
Yes.
So this population is extremely diverse. Denver is literally a melting pot of all types of people from around the world, around the country, different languages, different cultures. The restaurants here, I don't even know if this is a reason why you wouldn't want to move here, but be prepared. If you really like to stick with your own type of person, it might not be good, but for me, I absolutely love it because we eat food from around the world.
Yeah.
The restaurants.
And it's just neat to have conversations with all kinds of different people with all kinds of different backgrounds. I've learned so much just by going out with him and meeting all kinds of people. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. We don't go on vacation a lot. Our jobs keep us busy. We own 2 businesses, and for us, going in and out of all of these different people's homes, it's kind of like we get to go on vacation without leaving the city limits.
Yeah.
We see so many people, so many different things on how people live and where they come from.
Yeah.
And it's
kind of like the Epcot Center in Florida, where you can go and visit all kinds of different types of regions.
That's right. That's right. And so that brings us to
Number 6. Number 6 is Colorado is a very dog-friendly state.
Better like a dog. It's almost illegal not to own one here.
Yeah.
I swear. There are dog parks everywhere.
Almost every person that you see walking on the sidewalk is accompanied by at least one dog. So if you are afraid of dogs or just have an issue with dogs, might not want to move to a suburb because there are a lot of them.
Now, keep in mind though, many municipalities do have laws and noise ordinances against dogs, but depending on where you decide to live, you might have some dog noise in your neighborhood. And if you're moving here, make sure that you know where those areas are if that's going to be a problem for you. So, Number 5. Cost of living.
The cost of living.
Property taxes are going up. We happen to live in an unincorporated part of the Front Range here in Jefferson County, and so our property taxes are lower. We don't really we don't enjoy city taxes here. So you get away with a little bit more there. Now, the other thing too, HOAs.
Yeah, HOA fees. It's just another thing that you got to remember when you are thinking about how much that monthly payment is going to be, and you have to factor in those HOA fees because it could put you at the top of your budget.
Yeah, and HOA fees vary. I mean, we've seen monthly fees go from $25 in one area
Yeah.
a month to we've been some of these big high rises that we've been in. You know, you're looking at upwards of $2,000 a month. You know, those are pretty luxury places. But and you see that a lot, especially in your luxury market, especially where we live. Colorado is really diverse as far as types of homes. So we have luxury homes in really every single little tiny suburb all the way around Denver, in Denver, and even further out. Typically, a higher end neighborhood it is, the more you're going to pay in HOA fees.
Yes.
But, you know, one of the things that we should talk about is the average earnings in the Denver and Colorado Front Range. There's a lot of opportunity to make a lot more money, and so people who live here do enjoy higher pay.
They do.
So
yeah, and the job market is doing great, so that's always a bonus.
yeah, and so. Yeah, you're right. It is. People are hiring everywhere. They can't find people. I'm getting calls from jobs that I used to do 15, 20, 30 years ago, and people are asking if I'm still in that business. And I am, but only for myself. I'm not going to work for somebody else. But people are really hungry, and they really want to pay people well here. Now, you know, you had mentioned the Florida thing earlier, so Epcot Center kind of stuff, right? The really cool thing, we are not Florida. So if you are a person that really loves the ocean and you really love water, nope.
Yeah.
Number 4 is there is no ocean here, people.
No, we are landlocked.
Yes.
There are some big-ish lakes around, but the busier that Colorado has gotten, now they do like a reservation system, so it's a little harder to reserve camping spaces and things like that. Like, you have to be on top of your game. They do like a 6-month out type of a situation where you gotta to the day. If it's 6 months to the day, you get on, you try to get yourself a camping spot, but it's tough.
Can be. However, you can just, where we live, you know, most of the suburbs that you're going to get to, especially those that are west of Denver, between Denver and where the mountains are, you can get up in the hills in 5, 10. Where we live, we are 10 minutes away from the mountains. So when the weather gets really hot, Beth and I, we can jump in the car, take our kiddos, and, you know, just go up to Bojo's Pizza, great place, right up the hill. And we can be there in 20 minutes from where we live, enjoy nicer weather. It's about a 20-degree temperature drop, and get out of that heat. And you can go on a little hike along the river, visit some of the smaller lakes, go on a nice, really cool hike. There are hundreds of places where you can just go to like a scenic overlook and really kind of see what Colorado has to offer. Which, you know, Colorado, this is an extremely active state. People here tend to be in amazing health. They tend to be thinner, except for, well, us. I shouldn't say that. We stay pretty busy. But you know, we don't have as much time as we did when we were younger to go enjoy those hiking things and enjoy some of those things that would help us lose weight. And of course, the restaurants. That's what kills me.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
The food here is amazing.
It's crazy.
Yeah, so there are no oceans here,
No.
Which brings us to the next one. What number 3? This is a big one.
Hay fever and just seasonal allergies in general. They can be bad. This year we had a huge cotton tree issue, and all of the cotton trees in Colorado really,
oh my gosh,
were just on fire.
It was crazy. Yeah. It was the beginning of June, and we had 4 inches of cotton in our backyard. Seriously, we were afraid to light our barbecue because that stuff is flammable.
Yeah.
Anybody who's ever been around a cottonwood tree knows.
You would know.
Yes, I've done this before when I was younger. And it's like, I wonder if it's flammable. And took a cigarette lighter and lit it, and oh man, I thought I was gonna be in so much trouble. Luckily, it got to the fence and it just went and got to the fence and
Then it was
fizzled
done.
out. Thank God.
Yes.
But it was ridiculous. So, but as far as like the hay fever and stuff like that goes,
Yeah.
those trees do cause hay fever,
They
especially
do.
when they're pollinating. The pine trees, the dry grasses. We live in a near desert climate, so be prepared. Your eyes will be a little watery here and there. You might want to consider getting some allergy pills. I've met people
just
that,
to have them on hand.
yeah, people who've never had allergies before.
Yeah. Moved to Colorado and they're like, what happened?
Yep. And so those are some things that can happen. Hey, we're giving this to you, no fluff. We want you to move here, but make the right decision for you, your family, and your family's health, of course. But
And another thing to think about, marijuana.
that's number 2.
Oh, crap.
Which,
Okay.
speaking of hay fever,
That does happen. People do have hay fever, so just something to think about.
well, marijuana thing. I mean, a lot of people are walking around looking like they have hay fever. And some allergies going on, but Colorado is a 420 state,
We are.
so that brings us to number 2
Yeah.
on our list. So-
Driving down I-70, going east, you will smell like a skunk has sprayed for about a good 4-mile stretch. Downtown Denver, you will be frequented by the smell of marijuana, so just be prepared for that.
Yeah, and even in the suburbs, Beth and I, we really enjoy our patio. We spend a lot of time on our patio. We are that family that has 4 grills. Oh, there's my lunch.
He needs to eat lunch.
It's noon. Turn that off. But we love our back patio, and because we are a 420 state, many of our neighbors do partake in the marijuana thing that's happening here. And so you'll be sitting out there and you're like, man, I smell a skunk. That's not a skunk, people.
That's your neighbor.
Yeah. And so that's something to keep to know about Colorado, all of Colorado. It's not as bad in the suburbs, I don't feel.
Yeah,
But
I agree.
when you get into the downtown Denver, my phone's still going off. You get down into downtown Denver area, and it can be overwhelming, especially at like concerts and
Definitely.
stuff. And we like to go down there. Taste of Colorado, man, what a cool thing! They have free
Pretty
concerts.
Cool. Yeah, free concerts, awesome foods, great venues. Yeah, you should definitely check it out.
But be prepared. That's the only time that you might want to wear a mask after COVID, because you might get a contact high from these people. It can be pretty thick. That brings us to the number 1 reason you might not want to move to the Denver suburbs, and why it might not be right for you, is it is growing. The suburbs of Denver are growing. I've lived here almost on and off all of my life. And I remember these suburbs being here, and then there might be a little gas station in between them. You can't tell the difference between one suburb to the next. All of these tiny little towns, you can't tell, and they keep growing out. All of these master plan communities, they'll put a pond, a lake in, a shopping mall, strip mall, and they'll build a neighborhood all the way around it, and it just keeps growing. There's a place called Sterling Ranch. There's going to be thousands and thousands and thousands of homes. They've already built many of these. This place is cool, and it's just south of us in South Littleton, just past Highlands Ranch. One of my favorite places. Beth and I are thinking about possibly buying a home there if I can talk her into it. It's just growing, and you go out there and you just can't believe it.
It's beautiful. And it just used to be a big plot of land a year or 2 ago, and now it's completely developed. And
it's happening north, east, south, west, anywhere you go in the suburbs of Denver, it's expanding. It's expanding fast. Which is good though, because that does a lot for property values. Makes sure that we have a consistent uptick in property value, but also brings us back to number 5 that we talked about, the cost of living. Property values are going up. So if you're putting this as like, hey, let's wait Be prepared. Property values aren't ever going to really go down here. They might ebb and flow a little bit, but that graph is always going to be going up.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
be aware of that. But if you might want to consider moving a little ways outside of the metro area if you don't want to be in a busier area.
Yeah.
There are a lot of places. Sterling Ranch is one of those places that we just talked about. If you go up north, you can get out in places like Henderson and
Yeah, but even those areas are growing like crazy.
they are.
So
They are.
there's just a lot of growth happening in Colorado. It's we're a very up and coming state, I guess you could say. We have a lot of growth going on right now.
Yeah, and a lot of our clients and a lot of people that we talk to, they're really looking for land properties where they have, 2 to 5, 10 acres of property because they really want to have that seclusion and still have that Colorado experience. We can help you with that as well.
Yeah.
But these are the top 11 reasons
Yeah.
why. Okay, let's start that over. So these are the top 11 reasons why moving to the Denver suburbs may not
be for you.
That's right. I'm Nate.
And I'm Beth.
And together we are nateandbeth.com. Please be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. It really helps our channel out. If you're looking to move here, if you're looking to sell, if you're looking to buy, or you just have any questions, we're getting calls every single day from people just like you that really want to know the dirt. No fluff, the honest truth about where we live, work, and play.
Right.
Give us a call.
Yeah.